Hello my dear YouTuber friends, and I do hope you're all keeping well. Welcome to this new video. This video is on my top 5 aircraft currently in Microsoft Flight Sim. This does change over time, so I tend to sort of chop and change my top 5 aircraft depending what comes out and depending what I'm flying most often. We did a live stream, I think it was that was just last week, wasn't it? And at the end of the live stream, one person, sorry I forgot who you were now, you asked what aircraft should you buy next, and we all left our different suggestions. And they gave me an idea for this video. I thought, why not put out my top 5? For those of you who are watching, you might want to try a different aircraft. You may want to take one of my suggestions on board. Keep in mind, this is my top 5. If you went around everybody and asked them for their top 5 aircraft currently in Microsoft Flight Sim, you're bound to get a load of different and varying answers. So if you don't agree, that's fine. You can leave your top 5 down below. But don't be nasty about it, it's just what I prefer at the moment and what I'm flying most in the sim. Okay, let's not dilly-dally. Let's get on with this video. So to start off this list, I'll give you my 5th favourite aircraft in the sim at the moment. It's a fairly recent purchase for me in terms of purchases that I've made in the sim. I've had it for a good few months. It's the fantastic pocket rocket, I call it, Vision Jet. Available for both Xbox and PC. My goodness, I mean, if you want to travel from country to country and you don't fancy doing it in an airliner, the Vision Jet, oh, I'm overspeeding a little bit there. The Vision Jet would be your next best bet. As you can see, I was getting up to 300 knots there. I'm just going to come down to around 250 knots in cruise. Absolutely fantastic aircraft. Now I'll link a video down below just while I get my overspeed warning off. Down below in the description where I show you how to use things like Navigraph charts in the Vision Jet, flying from one place to the other. So lots of hints and tips in the Vision Jet. Very capable aircraft. Like I said, you just want to go for long journey trips, but you don't fancy doing it in an airliner, and you want to get there in no time at all, the Vision Jet is a great choice and actually quite an easy aircraft to fly once you've learnt it. So yep, 5th place goes to the wonderful Vision Jet. And my 4th favourite aircraft currently in Microsoft Flight Sim. What's all that on the ground? I've not seen that before. That's interesting. Sorry, distracted. It's the Aeroplane Heaven Spitfire. Now, I do have my Tolby eye tracking on. Link to a video down below on my affiliate link for this. Flying the Spitfire is always a very visceral experience, but if you have something like head tracking on, it just makes it that much better. But the Aeroplane Heaven Spitfire, now this I believe is still only available for PC. You do have a few available for the Xbox. Flight Replicas Spitfire, I believe, and the Flying Iron Spitfire. Now, people say, you know, they prefer the Flying Iron Spitfire. This, for me, just feels very authentic, the Aeroplane Heaven version. Like I said, absolute visceral feeling of flight when you're in the Spitfire and you have some kind of head tracking if you're lucky enough to own that. Absolutely brilliant. But this specific Spitfire, like I said, just feels spot on for me. It's the one I'll fly if I ever do any Spitfire group flights or Warbird group flights, that type of thing. This is the one I'll go to. It's obviously a bit tricky to take off and land. That's just the beauty of the Spitfire. So it's a great challenge. But with this one, I just feel right at home. Yeah, so there you go. My current 4th favourite aircraft in Microsoft Flight Sim is the Aeroplane Heaven Spitfire. Now my third favourite aircraft in the sim currently is the TBM 850 by Black Square. And like I said, my list is chopping and changing. This could well be my favourite next week, who knows, or next month. But fantastic aircraft. Now, unfortunately, I do believe the TBM 850 is still only available for PC. I do believe this will come to Xbox, and when it does, Xboxers, you are going to get a treat. Every single button, including all the circuit breakers, if you want to do that, to sort of replicate engine failure or aircraft failures in different ways. Everything seems to work if you're lucky enough to own the GTN XI. That's going to be your default garment in this aircraft as well. It's just a lovely aircraft to fly. It's very reactionary. If I just pull my throttle back a bit there, the aircraft will take time to think about it. Then the throttle will decrease. Let's just put it back a little bit further there just to show it's going to think about it. Then it will slowly react. It's just a lovely aircraft. Feels very, very authentic. Again, you want to get from A to B, you're going to have no trouble. It cruises around 200 knots, but I often fly this cross-country, that type of thing. Let me just increase my altitude there. I didn't realise that big. Probably I'm around the Manchester area. So these must be the Pennines ahead, I imagine. Just want to make sure that I get over them fine, so 5,000 feet will do. And there we go, we're on our way. So yeah, brilliant aircraft, never regretted. I actually bought this myself, and link down in the description of my review of this. Never regretted buying this. Great fun to learn, great fun to fly, not too difficult to fly again. So again, if you want something a little bit more challenging than something like a Cessna 172 or 182 or that type of thing, you want to learn a more complex aircraft, this will be the one to go to, in my opinion, if you're on PC Flight Sim, and hopefully it will come to the Xbox platform soon. So there you go, TBM 850, my third favourite aircraft. So my second favourite aircraft in the sim currently is the Cessna 182RG by Coronado. Absolutely fantastic aircraft. It's actually my go-to general aviation aircraft currently. It's the one typically, if I'm making videos on a subject, you probably see me, and you've probably seen this in a lot of my videos, it's the one I'll jump into. It's a nippy little aircraft. What we're doing at the moment, about 155 knots it looks like. Up to 160 if I want to, I can push that a little bit further. Nippy little aircraft, great if you want to do cross-country flights. If you're not sure if you're going on a group flight or live stream, and you want an easy aircraft to fly and control, don't look any further than the Cessna 182RG. And of course, shouldn't do this now, I'm a bit over speed for landing gear, but it has that retractable landing gear as well. It's quite unusual to see on a Cessna, but of course that's what the RG stands for. Absolutely fantastic aircraft. One I highly recommend. Is, well, it's my second favourite aircraft in the sim at the moment. So huge recommendation for the Cessna 182 RG. Okay, so my number one, my favourite aircraft, my favouriteest aircraft in the sim currently, and it has been for a long time, it's the incredible 146 Professional by Just Flight. Iconic aircraft, and an absolute beauty, available for both Xbox and PC. I'll link my Xbox Series S video. This runs beautifully on that down below in the description. I did some kind of tutorial flight on that. Everything about this aircraft shines. The way it looks beautiful. You get pilots call outs and that type of thing. It's very hands-on. If you It's funny, we were having this discussion recently in our Discord. If you find airliners maybe a little bit boring to fly, you get up in the air and it just goes on autopilot. This is very much hands-on. You have to keep an eye on this aircraft, otherwise it will scream and shout if you, kick you out of autopilot, and then you're going to be in a world of trouble. Comes with a fabulous sort of tablet on the side here. You can do things like Navigraph, integration with this on both Xbox and PC, and SimBrief as well. Just once again, every button and every switch seems to work on this. We're now waiting for the version 2 update, which will bring even more goodness for current owners of the 146 Professional. If you ever fancied airliners, it is a little bit trickier than something like, I would suggest, the PMDG 737 airline. You have to be a little bit more hands-on with this one. But if you fancy a challenge and a fantastic aircraft to fly, look no further than the epic 146 Professional. By the way, this is the Air We Go livery. This is the virtual airline that I'm in at the moment. I'll link one of those videos down below in the description, because I always get asked questions after I post the video, so you can go and see all the information for yourself. There you go, people. That's my top 5 favourite aircraft in the sim at this date, at this current time. Let me know yours down below in the comments. Give this video a like if you've enjoyed it. Subscribe for more, of course, many more Flight Simulator videos on their way. And I'll be seeing you soon.